I can be generous. You can do the intro.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I've done it like 17 times because I keep winning everything.
You cheated on the last.
Well, technically, I've heard it both ways.
No, he hasn't.
Okay, you can do the intro.
Welcome to another MOTUfigures.com video spotlight.
Hello. Hey guys. So, this one's epic. This is a figure a long time in the making. From the vintage line, a character everybody wanted back in the day. You right over there?
Uh-huh.
And she didn't get made in the vintage line. It was depressing. I actually really enjoyed watching She-Ra as a kid. And she was this was one of my favorite characters on the show, Shadowweaver.
Yeah, they made two important sorceresses in this month.
This month was epic, dude.
Yeah, and they made two important sorceresses. Shadowweaver and Sorceress.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the thing about this month, too, though, is that not only did they make two sorceresses, they fulfilled two figures that have been a long time coming in Shadowweaver, who's never had a figure before, and was probably the most wanted She-Ra character that never had a figure, and Photog, Fearless Photog, which was supposed to have a figure back in the day and never got made.
And she's a sub-exclusive.
She's a sub-exclusive. That is the thing. Let's get that over with first. Well, no, let's talk about the figure first, then we'll talk about her being a sub-exclusive.
Ooh, I just realized something.
What?
I said, and she's a sub-exclusive, like it was a good thing.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not really a good thing. But we'll get into that. Let's talk about the figure first. Okay, so, like we've just said, it's been a long time coming for Shadowweaver. When the announcement was made that Mattel had the Filmation rights, this was the figure that made that announcement. It was kind of told before it was announced because it got slipped online beforehand that Shadowweaver was going to be the sub-exclusive, and that's how we all knew that the Filmation rights were there. This is the obvious figure, when you get the Filmation rights, was the obvious figure to come out with right out the gate, right?
Right.
Can you think of another character from Filmation that would have been a better idea than Shadowweaver?
Kinda.
I can't, but what do you think?
Well, I guess he's not really as important, so I guess I wouldn't say.
Who are you going to say?
I was going to say Seahawk.
Seahawk is cool, but he's not as integral
And
as Shadowweaver is.
Oh, wait, integral means most needed. I was about to say it's not most needed.
Yeah.
Seahawk isn't really emotional.
I love Seahawk, and I want a Seahawk, but Shadowweaver is like second in command of the Horde, basically. I mean, it's Hordak and her.
Yeah.
So she's like super integral.
Malacca would have been kind of cool to have.
Malacca would have been cool too, I agree, but he would not have the star power that the Shadowweaver does.
Right.
So that is the big heavy hitter. That is the one you go with when you're doing Filmation. The figure itself is almost all new sculpt. I think the only thing they said that is the same is the shoulder pieces, maybe.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything else is the same. I mean, everything else is new. She's got a different design, what with her having the long skirt. So it's a little tough to do her as a standard figure, as opposed to doing what they had to do here. They can't really. What is going?
Oh, did I check again?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Keaton's going crazy upstairs. He's like throwing mighty beans around and doing fun stuff with Mom.
Scaring. I didn't realize. I was like, okay, I heard enough, and ran back down.
You came back down. We're doing this right after we did the Kevin Costner video. So her outfit is so unique and different that it would be impossible to do her as a standard figure, with a standard articulation and things like that. So she's had to have this. From the waist down, she's almost like entirely one solid piece. She does have a joint here, which allows this part to move forward.
I'm kind of scared to do that.
To move that?
Because it seems like it just snap right
It
off.
is. It does feel. This is almost like a hardish plastic. It doesn't have the give to it that regular legs do.
I'm surprised you're not.
No, it feels sturdy. I don't think anything's going to happen. But it is kind of a pointless joint. I mean, I understand that they're trying to put a joint in, and I can never fault them for putting a joint in.
Well,
but it's kind of pointless. I mean, all she can do is bend over.
Let's say if she was bowing down to Hordak.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, oh, hello, that kind of bow.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got that joint. She's got a swivel waist, and then from basically the waist up, she's the same as the standard figure. She's got the, ball-jointed shoulders. She's got the swivel at the bicep, the up and down, the swivel wrist. Everything's a little bit restricted because of these. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Let me just finish what I'm saying. She's a little bit restricted because of these, the cape, the rubbery cape being attached to these upper arms. But, I mean, it's Shadowweaver. You're not going to be posing her getting into, like, this karate fight with somebody. She has the amount of joints that she needs to have, and that's all she needs. And I think she's perfect with the amount of joints she has. What were you going to say?
She has that spellcasting hand.
Yeah, she does. And a lot of people, I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people are upset that she doesn't have 2 spellcasting hands.
I hate that. She can't put her staff in it.
Well, here's the thing. She barely ever uses this staff.
Oh, yeah. But I like it.
I like it too, but at the same time, I know where they're coming from. I kind of like because you see her do that a lot, like cast spells with both of her hands open. I wish they could do interchangeable hands. They haven't done something like that other than like Roboto, but that doesn't count. Interchangeable regular hands would have been really cool if we'd have had 2 spellcasting hands on this figure. It's not a huge deal breaker to me. I mean, she still is awesome regardless if she can do 2 spellcasting hands or not. Great sculpt, great looking figure.
And, well... Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if she had 2 spellcasting hands, because she mainly used that staff for, like, shooting, like...
This staff only appeared in 1 episode.
And it's not even... She's not really a fighter.
No, she's not really a fighter. Yeah, she's just kind of... Exactly. That's what I'm saying with the articulation and things. She's not really a fighter. She's just there casting spells and doing witch-type stuff. So she doesn't need a ton of articulation, and she doesn't really need that hand for that. But, you know, that's here or there. I think she's great, and I understand why they did it.
And are you familiar with the episode that staff was in?
Yes, I am.
Because I am sure not.
This is from the caregiver, but we'll get into that with the accessories. She comes with... I don't really consider this an accessory. She comes with this clear base, which plugs into her bottom area. There's a little hole at the bottom here that this plugs into to give her the levitating effect. And it's really tight to get this thing in there. You can actually hear it pop.
I didn't really want to take it out.
Well, once it's in there, it's kind of tough to get it back out. Key wanted to take it out? You're sharing one, so that's understandable. So you put that in there, and it gives her the look that she's levitating. It's a very clear base. It's not cloudy or anything. I think it works well. I think it's cool looking. What do you think?
I like it.
I think it's really cool. I think it was a cool detail. And since they have to do this one solid piece skirt thing, like I'm having trouble getting it back out right now. Oh.
You didn't have trouble getting keys out when he had to take it to our cousin's house to show Nana.
Show Nana? Yeah, he wanted to show Nana because Nana remembers Shadowweaver.
She remembers.
She remembers all of them. But, okay, so doing the solid piece allows for you to do something like this. If she had the standard legs, like, say, Queen Marlena has the skirt over the legs, she couldn't have that levitating base thing,
right.
Really. So I kind of see where they're going with this solid piece.
I just thought of something.
What?
I'm so lucky they did not give her that face from that one episode where she was like her origin, where she took down her hood and showed.
Oh, you're talking about the comic. You're talking about the comic.
And
yeah, they didn't actually show that though in the show.
I know, but I'm lucky they didn't.
Saying.
I'm lucky they did not make her.
Because she's got a gross face. She's got a gross face.
You can tell by her hands that she'd have a gross face.
Yeah, she's got a gross face. It's weird. The rest of her body looks fine though.
Except that and that.
Okay, so I lost my train of thought. Accessories. She comes with, and this one I think is really cool. At the same time that I don't know if she really needed a wand, I think it's really cool that both of these are episode-specific accessories. And I hope this is something we see with more Filmation characters, that they do accessories that are specific to the cartoon. This book of spells is from, I think, the Eldritch Mist, I think is what it's from. So the Eldritch Book of Spells, and it's like dead on the way it was in the show, from what I remember. And this wand was used in the Caregiver episode, if I remember right. And it looks exactly what I remember from that episode.
Now, can you explain what happened in those episodes?
I'm not going to ruin it for you.
Lost.
You're going to have to watch the episodes. What am I going to do?
It's going to be a while till
Come on, dude. Hang on. What if that person that are watching this video hasn't seen the episode? I'm going to spoil it for them? No.
We're not going to be in the year episodes for a while. Okay, we're watching.
Look, we can watch them some other time.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it for the viewers at home. Alright, so, what do we do? Bio first? We'll do bio first. And then we'll talk about the whole being exclusive thing.
First, Filmation picture.
Filmation picture on the card back. Yeah. That's awesome. Alright, Shadowweaver, real name Beatrix. Okay, well...
That wasn't in the Filmation.
I don't believe it was in the Filmation cartoon, and I don't believe it was in the UK comic either. I think that's something they made up, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering something. Because I thought in the UK comic she was just called Lightspinner, and I thought in the Filmation cartoon she was just called Shadowweaver. Even when she was good, they called her Shadowweaver.
Yeah, that's kind of a name for a good wizard.
Yeah, not really. Not so much. They should have known she was going to be bad in Filmation. Alright, so born in the Etherean kingdom of Mysticor, Beatrix was once known as Lightspinner, and served as an apprentice to the great mage Norwin. When Hordak arrived on Etheria during his exile in Despondos, he promised her great power in return for information and help in overthrowing Brightmoon and the surrounding kingdoms. Her powers were greatly enhanced through a magical gem, whose power also induced an irreversible change in her appearance and mental state. She betrayed Norwin and her fellow magical student Castaspella, leading Horror Troopers to their hidden magic archives. In Horror Hall, Beatrix took the name Shadowweaver, using her black magic to fight the Great Rebellion, all the while secretly plotting to overthrow Hordak and claim his power for her own. This is almost exactly Filmation.
Right.
Like The Price of Power. This is what is almost... And it includes some of the from the UK, like the Lightspinner thing is from the UK comics. Which that was... Oh, I thought that was really cool back in the... Lightspinner, Shadowweaver. Get it? Lightspinner does sound like a good name, but then you take the flip of that and it's Shadowweaver. Get it? It's clever.
And, well...
Castaspella's in here too.
I know, isn't she a good guy?
Yeah. Well, they were... so was she. So they were students together. Her and Castaspella were.
Wow, I wish they would have mentioned that in the Filmation credit.
They do.
They do?
Yeah, you need to watch your She-Ra, dude. You need to rewatch your She-Ra.
We've been watching He-Man episodes in order.
Well, hey, let's watch some She-Ra then. You can bust out some She-Ra. You can borrow my DVDs and play them in your room.
Okay.
One thing that's interesting here is it sounds like that she doesn't team up with him until he gets to Etheria. And one of the other bios, it mentioned Hordak's head witch, but it was in the past, like at King Grayskull's time, I think it was. So that lead witch is a different character than Shadowweaver. So there must be two witches.
You know, it'd be kind of cool if it was like an ancestor of Shadowweaver.
It would be cool too, yeah. They did have something in the Powers of Grayskull episode that was like female wraith witch things. So maybe that's their way of tying that into the toy line and maybe getting that figure out. I know, they're still making noises up there. I know. Okay, so last thing we want to talk about with this figure. First of all, it's an amazing figure, and if you can get her, she's great, and of course she's an essential character.
Right.
That's what makes her a bad club exclusive in my eyes. Great for Mattel, bad for us. Because if this sets the stage for other club exclusives, it's going to be you have to buy the sub, or you're not going to have all the characters.
This is what I don't... Now, there's something I like. They tell you what your club exclusive is.
Exactly.
But there's something I don't like. There's going to be all these big characters like me and you have been thinking it might be Randor next year.
Ram Man.
Ram Man.
Yeah.
Next year. I'm thinking it might be Gwildor sometimes, or Rod, something like that.
Don't even say that, man. I hope it's not Gwildor. That'd be depressing for me. Because I want a Gwildor to keep packaged, and a Gwildor to open, and then a Gwildor for each one of you. So that's 4 subs. See, that's disheartening, because you really want, especially like in my situation, where I want to get one for each of you guys, but I can't commit to 3 subs sight unseen. You know, like the Star Sisters. You didn't really want the Star Sisters, and I was already getting 2 Star Sisters, so it was kind of like, okay, then I would have to have 3 Star Sisters, and you guys don't really want the Star Sisters. So I got put in a position, plus it's a ton of figures sight unseen, that you're just saying, I'll commit to buy those. And if they've set the stage with Shadowweaver and the subs were down this year, even with Shadowweaver, it's going to be something big every year now, it seems like. It probably is going to have to be. One good thing about this whole situation, though.
Yeah.
I had 2 subs, right? So I had one for me and one for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in one of our previous videos, one of our the guys that watches the videos said, "Hey, I heard that you only had one Shadowweaver, and that both your kids want a Shadowweaver. I'm going to have an extra Shadowweaver. I'm going to hook you up." There's a Shadowweaver on its way here now from the very kind Mike Blanchard. I think I said your last name right. Who is TFG1Mike on Twitter, at TFG1Mike. He sent it out today, so now you'll each have a Shadowweaver.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mike.
He was very, very cool. I mean, that was above and beyond. Because, I mean, he could have flipped that figure and made a lot of money on it, but he knew that we were in a position where it's tough, man. Because I like to get... I'm in the same mental state as you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I remember being a kid and seeing certain characters on a show and be like, wow, I really want that character. And you guys watch He-Man and She-Ra, and you see these main characters, and they make one of those sub-exclusive, and it kind of stinks because you can't get it.
And it seems like He-Man fans are very nice.
He-Man fans are the best fans in the world, of any kind of franchise at all. I love Star Trek, but still, He-Man fans are the nicest fans around.
Right.
Mike Blanchard, thumbs up, buddy. That was super cool of you. You're making a kid very happy. They're great at sharing, but when it's a main character, it's tough to share. You know? You guys have been great about taking turns.
Titus wasn't really
Titus is the main character.
hard.
Yeah.
But you gave me one after I was done in the
Exactly.
game, just after getting fillings.
That's right. When you got those fillings, you got a Titus. Alright, so we're going to sign off on this. Shadowweaver's awesome. It's a shame that she's a club exclusive for a lot of people. because she's a really expensive figure.
Thank you.
Super cool looking. Super cool looking. That's it, right?
Yep.
We done with Shadowweaver?
Are we?
I think so.
Because I don't want to sign off like we did once and have...
I think we are done with the figure. We covered the accessories, the figure, the bio, it being a sub-exclusive, the James E. Talk book. That's what I was hoping you'd hand over. Still working towards 400 subscribers. We're getting we're still, I think we're right on the edge of 30 or 300 right now. So as soon as we have 400, we're going to pick one at random, and they get this a copy of the unofficial cartoon guide to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which he's going back into print on soon, and I think he's even working on a sheer guide, which would be awesome.
Whoa, he is?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh, that'd be cool too.
I think that's all. So the only figure we got left for February is Photog, and I don't know if that thing I wanted to do is going to work out or not, so we're going to do Photog this weekend regardless of what happens.
Right.
Alright. Well, it's been fun talking with you guys and being in your homes together. Thanks for inviting us in once again.
And now I will go to bed.
And now I'll go to bed, and I'll edit the video. And it'll get posted this weekend. And everyone will be happy to see it. And talk about Shadowweaver. And Lightspinner. And Beatrix. Alright. So long, everybody. Good journey. We'll see you guys next time.
Jinx, you can't talk until I say your name 3 times. I jinxed you. Dad, now you can talk.
Oh, that's better. Alright, see you guys.